What's up, world? I don't have like a set intro.
What's up, world? Like it.
Should we have a set intro?
Maybe.
Probably. I bet you our podcast would do better.
What do you mean? We're not like thriving in the world of podcasts right now?
We probably have dozens of listeners.
Oh, I like dozens. Okay, cool.
No, I don't know how many people to be exact. It's actually hard to find metrics. We could do a show on podcasting.
Yeah.
That would be cool. So what are we talking about today? So we're talking about how to keep up with education. So you're done with school. Mm-hmm. You're working. And you need to continue with education. Whatever that looks like for you. I'm not here to judge. So what's your strategy? So we're going to dive into that. My name is Todd. I am here with my wife and business partner, Jen.
Hello.
We are the owners of Hello Hair Co. and Hello Hair Pro podcast. So thanks for listening.
Welcome.
So how do people keep up with education? So I'm going to start with something I say or think about a lot. The accumulation of non-applied knowledge is one of the fastest roads to mediocrity.
And a waste of your time.
Yeah. Why do we see that so much?
I don't know.
It can't just be this
it's really
industry.
Frustrating.
Yeah,
No,
we see
I'm sure
people
so.
that are like, I'm taking this class, I'm taking this class, I'm going over here, I'm going to learn this. And I would never say don't learn. But when are you practicing?
Learn appropriately.
When are you putting any of that into actual practice?
I do see a trend right now, I will say, of almost rather than start applying the skill sets that you have, that you just keep going back to school as if like that's going to get you further in the industry. And then I see they come out of school and they've gone to school and then back to school and they're getting this license and that license and this certification. And then they're like, I need to make money. Why am I not busy? And I'm like, you haven't actually
spent 5 years going to school.
Yeah, you've just been in school and you've been so like half in the game.
Just accumulating knowledge.
Yeah, that like now you're actually starting. So you're starting here. Like I don't know why you thought because you just went to school 17 times that automatically you were just going to be busy. Like that's not how it works. And now
it's not how it works at all.
Now you have a wealth of knowledge, but since you haven't applied it consistently, you aren't good at any of it.
You're not good at it, right?
You're just starting all new trades, and it's a lot of them.
I saw this equation that somebody had written out, and it was like mastery is the function of knowledge being the biggest component, and then practice, and then time. And I thought about it, and I was like, disagree.
Yeah.
I think that the practice should, like, of course you need the knowledge, but just knowing something doesn't make you better at it.
No, unless you want to just teach it.
So I think, yeah, that's true.
Right? But if you need to apply it, you need to practice the most.
I don't know. I disagree. I think you would even need it to teach.
Yeah, like I guess you're right.
Because if you can explain something, that's great. But I don't buy that you actually understand it unless you can put it into practice.
Agreed. When I first started educating, I was teaching and I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about.
Right.
But I kept doing it because I'm like, I'm going to learn it. I'm going to understand it. And I kept practicing the teaching part so I could learn it and understand it.
Two different skill sets there.
Yeah. Yes, right? Kind of marries them together.
Yeah, educating and not just in the hair industry, but educating in general or teaching somebody is a completely different set of skills than technical skills for whatever job or career you're in. Mm-hmm. I saw that in the gym world a lot and constantly referencing the gym world, but people would come in and be good at working out and assume they were coaches. Mm-hmm.
And start coaching other people.
Yeah, start coaching other people.
You're just a worker-outer. Just keep doing that.
Just fucking work out. Why are you coaching that person?
You're going to hurt somebody.
You're going to hurt them. Yeah, you have no clue. Just because you're good at, I don't know.
I remember those days. It was so frustrating.
Yeah, so frustrating. Because you need to be nice to people, but you also have to keep people safe.
Exactly.
And reel them back to reality. Like you're not a coach just because you can do a workout fast. What the fuck?
So I think there are, I'm going to say 3, but I might go back on this and we'll see. 3 types of education that I see currently.
Oh, do tell.
Okay. I see you have your school or certifications, right? So you're going to get these certs, or you're going back to school to get another license. Currently a big one, and I'm not the hugest fan of it, and I'll tell you why, is the virtual learning. And then there's the type of learning that's one-on-one or in a class setting, like hands-on. So I think school does its purpose. I know when I got out of school, I was like, get me the fuck out of here. I want to get hands-on. I want to get in a salon. I want to be busy. So I never thought again about school. Like anything I was going to do was not going to be from a school setting at all. And interestingly enough, currently I do see that a lot of these people are coming out and they're going right back to school. Wouldn't be my play because I don't think it's not how you learn in the best setting. Virtually, I have a problem with it because I think you're watching someone do something and they make it look really easy, and then you fall on your face because you can't actually replicate it.
There's that educator. Like there's that skill set, because that educator should, and I've seen that too. Everyone goes 100 miles an hour, and a good educator will break down everything, slow down, because you have to realize the person that you're teaching is not, their brain is so new to this idea that it's being exposed in some cases for the first time ever.
Right.
You working at speed, it's too much for them.
They didn't even get it.
Nothing.
But then they're like, I took all this education. I'm taking all these classes.
Terrible.
But they're all online, and they're not actually, there's nothing for you to learn. Now, I'm not saying there's not good ones, and I'm not saying that you can't do
there's
that.
There's good and bad of everything.
Yeah, and then you can't apply it. But I think that it gives you a false sense of like that you've done a lot of work when all you did was watch some videos. Now you want to take that into your salon and grab a mannequin or a person and start applying them. That's where the magic happens for me. And that's generally where you either need a mentor or a salon educator to help you take all of those skills that you've learned, whether it's school, certification, or online, and now actually apply them.
Yeah, we talked about this in the last episode we recorded, about I forget where I was going there. I think the accumulation of knowledge, or no, I was going to talk about using your mentor, coach, boss, whatever, manager as a filter.
Yeah.
So I know there are so many things out there. Get someone's opinion though. I mean, Jen, you've been in the industry for 20 plus years. Mm-hmm. People should be going to you with questions like, hey, I want to learn something. Where should I go to learn that?
Yes.
Don't just follow automatically whatever you saw on Instagram. Again, I don't ever tell someone what to do, but if you want to speed things up, listen to someone that's been through it.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
And I'm not saying call Jen. Go to your salon.
I mean, you
whatever.
can call me. I'd be happy to help.
You would save the world if you could.
I love helping.
I'll be over here podcasting. I don't have time. I'm a famous podcaster.
No, you are very famous.
World famous.
I'll get your autograph today.
You know, if restaurants can write like famous, people always get irritated because I'll ask. They'll
World's
write like
best chowder.
Yeah, world famous clam chowder. Who like I didn't even know you existed till I got here.
Like, what award did you win?
I've asked that before.
I know.
And people are like,
that's why I said
what do you mean? Well, it says award-winning ribs. What award did you win? Where is it?
Yeah, they didn't win one.
No. All right. So the next point is kind of ironic. But how do people keep up with education? So one of the problems that I see is lack of focus, which is just where I was with talking about clam chowder. We're going to dinner in a little bit, and
getting hungry.
I think I'm getting a little hungry.
I just thought that too.
Yeah. We're in Waterville, Maine. I'm doing this on purpose. Lack of focus. We're in Waterville, Maine, and it was like a 3-hour ride, 3.5.
It's like 3.
Okay. Yeah, it was a long ride.
It's far.
But now that I'm here, I'm sort of starting to settle in.
It's nice.
Yeah. So lack of focus. So you need somebody.
Look, a squirrel. Sorry.
I've been watching one on that tree outside the window, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think another one is that people, and we're going to do a show on specialization, but I think people misunderstand specialization.
Yep, I would agree.
Specialization can't really mean much other than the definition of specialization. I don't know why people want to redefine it all the time.
Because I don't know.
And here's a pro tip for you. Find where you have two like things in your life, like two maybe hobbies or two past careers or two just traits that you have that are unrelated, and try to bring them together. So in the hair world, sure, I like doing hair. I'm a barber. It's fun. I really like mentoring people, helping people grow, leadership, that sort of stuff. So I draw off of my background in coaching, my background in managing restaurants, running teams, etc. And I try to find the unique intersection of where I can bring those two worlds together. Love that. And I think for a lot of people, specialization is, they think I want to specialize in color or whatever. And that's cool. But what makes it yours? That's true
right. What
specialization.
Makes it special to you, right?
Because everybody can do color. Everyone can. So I want to be a short hair specialist. Great. Congratulations. That's cool. But what sets you apart? Well, I'm really good at it. No. What sets you apart?
And that comes out with like laying out a plan. Like, yeah, not that everyone's going to be famous, but what do you want to be known for, right? That's kind of a great question to ask. Like, what do you want to be known? Not just color. Like within color, what do you want to be known for? Like, what do you want to be sitting in your chair every time you do a color? Right. That's what you want to specialize in. Like, oh, well, I love doing whatever, blondes, let's say. Okay, so then that's what we need to focus on. Not just color. You can do all the colors, but you want majority of the people to be blonde because that's what you're have the most fun doing, whatever. So now we can focus in, and then you lay out the education for that.
Yeah, I've been seeing some specialization posts on Instagram, and they're just confusing.
Very. Very.
It's the advice I would give. Excuse me, if somebody wanted to like be general, to be broad.
Yeah.
To learn everything is not possible. That's not specialization. That's generalization. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Here's a pro tip for you. Find a workplace that has core values that match yours.
Yes. I don't know if people think about that when you go into an interview. I think it's
I'm not
easy.
being negative. I'm just trying to be funny here.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's easy to go in and be like, I hope they like me. I want you to turn that around. I don't fucking care if they like you or not. What do you think of them? Do you like them? Do you like what they're saying? That's what's most important. You should pick for you. I say all the time, like, I want people to like me. I like to be picked. Don't get me wrong. Play tag. I want to be the first one on the team. I'm mad if I'm not. But
fucking tag?
I just use tag.
Tag.
Yeah.
We're going to play tag after
I'm pretty
this.
competitive, by the way. But like when you go into that interview, if you could change your mindset on this, I want you to literally be your best self. I want you to ask all the questions that would make that salon be the best salon for you. And if they don't hit all your marks, move on, because there's one out there.
Sure. I think in listening to me say, well, how would I know the core values of a business if I went in there? First of all, figure out your core values, your principles, and what you stand for and what you want out of life. What are your goals? Have that instead of a resume. Mm-hmm. Show up, talk to the person, ask, what does this business stand for? What are your core values? What are your principles? What's the mission? Where are you going? What's the vision? Who do we serve? If you don't know that stuff, so if you ask someone and the owner or the manager or whoever interviewing you doesn't know, they don't have core values in their business, red flag.
Yeah, for sure. Get out.
Run.
And really, like, so in this case, talking about education, one of your first questions should really be surrounded by, like, how do you support your staff? How am I going to grow here? What's the education plan? What does that look like? You could even go as far as, what do you offer? What do you pay for? What do I pay for? Because in order to grow your career, you're going to need that. So you want to know how you're supported in that salon. If they tell you it's all on you, well, now you have, the decision to make there. And if they tell you it's done a different way, then now you know how to plan your career within that salon home.
I do want to put out a little word of caution. And I'm not being negative. I just like to look at things from different perspectives. I've seen salon owners that are amazing at selling themselves falsely.
Yeah.
And it's awful, but you really need to pay attention. Like you said earlier, you want to be liked. You go in, you're nervous. You need a job. Mm-hmm. So you have an owner that sells themselves falsely because they're not going to do any of the things. And we hear this all the time. Yeah. I know some of the people personally. I'm not going to name drop on here.
And then
Should
you
I
just
name drop? No.
No. Then you've wasted your time too, because now you took that job, you worked there for a few months. Like, this
You know
isn't
what
for
would
me.
grow this podcast if we name dropped?
Oof.
Because then people would tune in like, holy shit.
I'm not there yet.
They name drop.
Not there yet.
They call people the fuck out. I would like that at some point.
Okay, I'll get there.
Maybe I can do a different podcast. I'll just do it on my own.
Sure.
So yeah, saying it and living it are two different things.
Yeah. I always say go in and shadow for a day.
Yeah, we offer that to people too. So even if we're offering you a job, I still have the person come in for a day. We actually have 2 days scheduled of dedicated to shadowing. The first day is just a vibe check. Make sure you like it
for
here.
both parties.
Make sure you like it here. And then the second time, unless we're fast tracking somebody, we had a situation recently where we brought someone on and we fast tracked her because her place was closing and she needed to start working.
Yeah.
So this isn't a cookie cutter thing, but we try to stick to it. And on the second shadowing day, they're a little more hands-on. Maybe they're learning our software or working, doing a model or whatever. So they're in there. They're not working, but maybe they get a service. They experience things.
Yeah,
it's
so
a
their
little
first day feels more comfortable.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
And they don't look like they're a deer in headlights.
Correct. So I would definitely ask I don't think I've ever been asked this, but ask the owner to define whatever it is that's important to you. So we're talking about education. So if you're in an interview process, I would just ask the owner, can you define, like, what is your definition of education?
Yeah, that's actually a really great question. I never thought of that, but everyone's is going to be different, and you want to understand what you're getting.
Right, because I've heard, like, people will say, oh, we do education. I shadow the busiest stylist. And I think it was the last episode or this episode, I don't know, when shadowing at speed, you're just watching stuff that you need to learn. You can't learn at full speed like that.
Right, and they can't slow down because they're working.
They're working. That's not education.
Yeah.
That's just staring at
that point,
somebody.
just say you're an assistant. You're assisting her. And then hopefully at some point she creates a downtime situation where she will teach you.
Right. And I'm not saying
that's how that would work.
I'm not saying there's no benefit there, because there are times where I'll stand and watch you work, but I'm not doing it to absorb 100%.
Right.
It's, you pick up little things here and there, but the fastest way to do it is to actually get educated.
Yeah.
So you want to have somebody that can define that for you. And if they just look it up on their phone, well, here's the definition. Like, no, Nancy. No, that's not going to work.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So what are some other ways? Like, what are people doing to keep up with education? What should people be doing? What should people be avoiding?
I would say avoiding would be if you haven't got the basics and the foundation, and then you're trying to do something that's too far from your wheelhouse at the time, you got to dial it back. Like, so if we're talking color, like, I'll say to somebody new, I want to see you do foils. What type of foils do you like? Do you like the bigger ones, the skinnier ones, pop-ups? Do you like to rip them yourself? Now you're committing. And I don't want to see you switching that all around, right? So it's a big deal to keep using the same tools over and over. And then if you're like, I've mastered this, or I feel comfortable with, I'd like to try something else, cool. But if you start out learning and you jump way too far ahead, you've just missed the middle, which is the strength and the foundation of making you better at the technical skill.
Yeah, it's those repetitions we talked about in the last podcast that we recorded. Mm-hmm.
So, avoid, I guess, getting too far ahead of yourself too quickly.
Yeah, baby steps are...
So the other thing
it's hard for people to wrap their head around that when you slow down, that's probably going to create the fastest road for you.
Yes.
But people are like, I need to learn this, I need to learn this, I need to learn this, I need to learn this. And
so the other part of avoiding that, I think I only learned this recently, because I would learn something new, whether it was hands-on or watching a video, a tutorial, and I would just put it into play on my current clients. I now
there you go.
Strongly recommend that you pick a client that might be perfect for what you just learned and have them be a model. and truly treat it like a class. You're learning a new skill. You need to go into it differently, and you need to troubleshoot it, and you need to find somebody you can do that on. So I no longer, if I learn something new and I haven't practiced it enough, just go and throw it in on a client. I get a model and I practice on a model. And that's a big one because I didn't do that before. You just would take like, oh, just go back and just do this. Like, okay, I might not be ready for that yet.
Right. Yeah, there are so many like distractions, especially with social media and the internet. As great of tools as those are, you have to know how to use those tools.
Yeah. I would also avoid...
I do see people that are like, I want to do this. They'll post like this crazy hair, and I'm like, maybe you should do that on a mannequin.
Right. Start there and then post that.
Then look for a model.
Yes.
Because if you've never even attempted that, you're not going to be good at it.
Right.
I don't know why people think they can just do stuff.
That's why mannequins are so amazing. Well, and that's because social media makes it look so easy. Like, I can just do that.
You have to acknowledge when you're looking at education, you have to, and this goes in sort of intertwines with the last episode we recorded, it's the repetition. It's your education doesn't need to be anything more than picking what you want to perfect and getting repetitions doing that. Mm-hmm. That's what I would tell someone starting out.
Excuse me. Yeah, and I would encourage you to find a mentor. So the beginning of my career, I found someone in my salon. She did education in the salon anyway, and I asked her.
And you had a really strong relationship with this person.
Yeah, I still do, actually. We still talk.
So talk about that. How would what did you do? How did you?
So I went to her and I just was like, I want to get better at this point, everything. Like, I need help in everything. And
That's that mindset out of school. I have to do it all.
Like, well, I'm like, my foils, like I'm getting good, but like I'm missing it. My haircuts, I know they need work. So what she came up with me is every Friday I had to have a model. Had to. Like, there was no negotiation here, because she's going to give up her Friday for me, and I'm going to show up and we're going to learn, and we're going to get a model. And basically with an open mind, constructive criticism, and I'm going to show you how to get better. And whether she did it one week and then I did it, we just went back and forth, and we worked together for months. And I got better at my blow dries, at my haircuts, at my colors, like everything. And it was all in real time. So it was amazing, and I grew so much, and it was sometimes humbling, like, because I think humble's the word. Like, she's going to be like, what are you doing with that? And I'm like, I don't know, what am I doing? But like, she was questioning me so that I could understand, why are you doing that? Right. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing, but why are you doing that? Yeah, like, tell me why so I can understand what your brain's looking at. It's not wrong, it's not right. I just want you to understand your placement or why you're holding it there.
Sure.
And if you can explain why you're doing that, like, you know what you're creating. And I was like, okay. And that just gets you better all around. So if you can find somebody either in salon or hire somebody to work with you consistently, like, that's really how you're going to get just so much better on every level. And maybe through that you find your specific things that you really like to do.
Of course.
I actually from that really enjoyed then starting to educate. I'm like, I want to do what you're doing. I want to help people. And I think I can do that. So it was very cool.
And then, so where did you go from there? You had this mentor. You guys worked together for a while, right?
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
And was that an ongoing relationship? Like the mentoring, or was that like a boot camp?
I want to say it was like,
up and running,
like maybe 6 months or so. I was always so I also picked my shifts to work around the most talented people in that salon. That just was, I was like, whoever I gravitated to, I'm like, I want to work whenever that person's here, this person's here. I want to learn all I can.
Same thing we said in the last episode is find your group, surround yourself with the people you want to be like.
Yeah. And then from there, I at that point started recruiting and educating for that company. And then I started teaching in salon.
And that was Delaria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
the flippy haircut was in, and I started playing around with different techniques because I had learned the basics. I had learned the foundation, and this flippy haircut was like everywhere. So I started coming up with different tricks that worked for me to get that look. And then I started teaching that haircut.
I was going to say, didn't they take you at that point and say, you need to start teaching this haircut?
Yes.
Someone said that.
Yes, in the salon. And now, like, my staff always, they do this, like certain things that I do with my scissors and how I break down the haircut. I just learned from that, from playing and then from teaching, and how do I create this look. And that's where that all started. Then actually grew from there.
Super cool.
I think a mentor is a really important thing, and hopefully you can find one within your salon where you are, because that's just who you're working with every day anyway.
Yeah, a mentor in salon is great. If you don't have that, find somebody maybe in your town, or I don't know, you need someone, even someone that you can, I don't know, mentors are so important. To have somebody to work or to sort of help you sift through your ideas, to have to have where am I going with this?
Well, it's how you're going to really get the growth you're looking for. I guess.
Path, I was going to say. I just couldn't form a sentence.
Yeah, and you could. So I've also done things when I haven't had as much inspiration in my life, or someone around me that's really bringing me up to my game. I'll go get a haircut at another salon. Now that's scary because I don't like to get my haircut.
That's actually great for people to hear. If you're if you're looking for education, it doesn't always have to be in class form.
No. So I would get a service, and I so obviously being an owner of a salon, not obviously, but being an owner of a salon, I'm going in for a few different things. I want to see how they run their salon. I want to see how I'm treated as a client. I want to see how clean their station is. I want to see, and I want the service. I want everything, and I'm taking in all different perspectives there. Dang. So it's important for the service part, but also for the whole experience that I want to bring back to my salon.
Jen and I are working on being better speakers.
Yes.
I think we should take a public speaking class.
I think we should. That would be great. So getting a service at another salon,
just a little side story,
would be a great way to build so many things for your education, from the experience of the service to the experience that you are treated in the salon. Did I just say
Yes.
Dang it. Because now you can bring that back to your salon. I'm going to take a pause.
And you never know. You might find someone and form a relationship. There might be an opportunity there. Say somebody cuts your hair. They do a great job. Just ask, hey, would it be okay to reach out? I have a few questions. I'm a stylist, or I'm a barber.
Yes.
I have a few questions. I don't know if you teach or not. And the person either is going to offer you, I mean, if they're cool, most people in this industry are people pleasers. No, not people pleasers.
Oh.
Like, I'm a people person. I like people. I like to help people.
Yes.
I like to be around people.
Yeah. So they should want to help.
Right. And if they don't have the time, or they're not into it, or whatever, they'll let you know. But I think people are pretty open to the idea, especially in a creative field like this.
Yeah. And I can tell you,
and it's flattering.
I can tell you from firsthand experience, I've done it. I have someone coming in next Sunday that I reached out to. I've seen your work. I love it. I want to learn what you're doing. Do you do this? She's like, well, I don't educate for any companies, but yeah, I could absolutely come in and teach you. Like
that's all I asked. I didn't ask about the companies.
It's not a comfortable place to put yourself out there to be like, hey, will you help me? But I wanted to learn, and I liked what I was seeing on her social media, and I had met her. I taught her in one of my color classes, so I liked her as a person. So I just decided I'm just going to give it a shot. Hey, could you do this? And she's like, yeah, let's do this. This is how I'm going to lay it out. And now she'll come in and we're going to work one-on-one together next week. So it's a real thing. Like we can say you should do this, but I'm living through it. I do it. Mm-hmm. You had gone up to see somebody in Portland, Kittery, Maine, to get some more skill set. Hey, can I just come watch you for a little bit? Can we talk through some stuff? And that worked for you. Mm-hmm. And that person was so happy to help you because he is so into the industry and giving.
It created an ongoing
and then now he educates at our salon to help our staff. So it's really cool when you can form those relationships and find the people that will work with you and help you up your game. And it's really important for you to get next level.
It's so important to figure out your direction. And again, I'm going to go back to having someone, like having that mentor, or even if it's not an ongoing relationship, even if it's a one and done with somebody, they're helping sort of steer you.
Yeah.
And you're going to get wherever you're headed faster. Mm-hmm. You might not like what you're going to learn in the circumstance, but that person's going to teach you, and then you can decide this isn't for me.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's a learning experience as well. You don't have to do everything. I know a lot of salon owners probably are freaking out, but you don't have to do every service.
No, we strongly coach to you should be doing the services that you enjoy and really want to do.
Just the ones you enjoy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you can't help someone out with something once in a while or whatever, but if you don't like coloring hair, you just want to cut hair, just cut hair.
Yeah. I love that.
Whatever.
I think too, the importance of working with a mentor to really up your education game is so important, because I do feel a lot of stylists feel like they have to have someone helping them when they're working on a client. And let me tell you, you're not learning in that atmosphere. You're being thrown to the wolves. So to do it on a downtime without a time constraint, without so many factors in that, you'll be better and you'll learn more and you'll take more away from it. And it's a much more positive learning experience.
It might seem like it's a longer process, but it's going to save you in the long run.
Yeah.
That's the hard part to see.
Yeah. Like I've heard, people that have left salons, like, well, I went to that salon because they said they would teach me, and just like while I'll do the haircuts, they'll just help me through them. But I never learned anything, and I got frustrated, and like that's because you can't really learn while you're in the middle of actually doing a haircut that someone's paying for. Like, what are they just finishing it up for you? You're not learning that. Like, you need someone to help you on a downtime, on a model where you can really take it all in and ask your questions.
Mm-hmm. It goes back to the foundations.
Yeah.
You just need to build your foundations. And that's exactly what we help our staff with. And whoever, even non-staff people that have reached out and we've talked to, you've got to dial it down. That would be the big takeaway from me.
Yeah. For
this episode, is just dial it down. Don't be too quick to go too wide. And I think you can go wide.
Yes.
But I think you
get a couple skills under your belt, get really good at them, then now add another one.
Then diversify a little bit. Or
but don't try to do everything good at once, because you're not going to. You're going to crash and burn.
Yeah, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
I agree.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
It's all good.
So education, I think we hit on some good points. Any last words on education? What advice you would give somebody?
Practice on mannequins and on real life people and in a model setting. And then find someone to help you, because just because you
stay focused. So if you're going to hold yourself accountable, you really need to hold yourself accountable. And I would strongly recommend not taking that road. But if you are going to do it on your own, just know it's going to take longer. You're going to make mistakes that like if you worked with a mentor or a coach, they've already made mistakes, so they're going to help you sidestep a lot of stuff. Well, and you need someone,
this is where I was going with that, you need someone to watch you do it. Just because you do a haircut on a mannequin and you keep practicing it, you don't even know what bad habits you're picking up.
A mannequin with perfect hair, by the way.
Right, or even on a person, but you don't know the bad habits that are coming in, and you want to be corrected so you could do it better. And if you're doing it all on your own, you're going to miss that. So even though you're practicing, you're not going to get better because no one's helping you and giving you the constructive criticism to get that skill better.
Right. And you should practice you can totally practice on your own. You should practice on your own.
But at some point you need the constructive criticism to make it better.
That's not enough.
Right. Yeah, that's
to get you. If you're really trying to get really good at something, you need someone to help you to teach it to you.
Yep.
Sure.
Agreed. I love it.
Cool. I think that's good.
I like it.
We can wrap this episode. Thanks everybody for listening. Hello Hair Pro Podcast. We'll put some stuff in the show notes. Jump on our mailing list because we have some education coming up.
Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yes, and let us know what you want us to talk about. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.